and breathe. No, we're not about to start a yoga session with you, but you know that feeling when you return to work after a holiday, or if you've had a long break from work, or even as you're about to step into some brand new planning for the year. There's all that energy and optimism and enthusiasm that you're really hoping to bottle from both yourself and actually the team sitting around you. Well, when you return refreshed and renewed and ready to rock into the new year, we want to really leverage all of that and create some very cool plans that are going to help you stick and actually achieve those objectives that you're setting for the next year. So welcome to Friday Fuel. Kirsten and I are really excited to be sharing this series with you. And this series is all about bottling that enthusiasm and passion for the plans that you've got coming over the next 30, 60, 90 days, and hopefully the whole year that you've got in front of you.
So there's two things that I like to think about when I come back from leave of any sorts, or I've got a team member coming back from leave of any sorts, and that is direction and belonging. So when we have those two things, they work harmoniously together, because without direction, you don't get a sense of belonging. And if you think of any great team out there, any great team is very clear on what they want to achieve, why they do what they do, what part each individual plays, how they leverage the strengths of each person, and what is the development areas that each person needs to work on. So when you come back from an extended period of leave, or somebody has, direction is so important, whether it be a full business plan to kick off a new year, or whether it be a 30, 60, 90-day plan. The thing we need to be very clear of is resetting and making sure that the goal that we've got in place is actually going to take us forward to exactly where we want to be in that period of time. So having a clear vision, having clear goals set around that gives us that direction. That means then we can actually communicate it. And it's really interesting, because Sarah and I go into businesses all the time, and so often when we ask the executive what are their direction and the vision for the business, they'll tell us, but when we ask the team, they're not quite so clear. So having a direction, having clear goals and communicating that is so important. The second part, that even if you're not doing a full business plan coming back from leave and it's not a new financial year, one thing we need to always hit is that good old business SWOT. Now, the thing is about a business SWOT is it actually gives you a really amazing standpoint of where you are right here, right now. So it's sort of like, I always like to think of it like a current situation snapshot. And so what we're standing for, what are the strengths, and how are you going to leverage those strengths? The W, of course, being weaknesses. So where is the current weaknesses within your team or business at the moment? And then we flip it and we go from an internal focus to an external focus. And we have a look at what are the opportunities that we can capitalize out there in the marketplace, and what could be our threats to our business performance right here, right now. So we've all heard of marketing SWOTs, we've been using them, but I really encourage you to actually start using them for short periods of time, not just your full-on business plans.
And one of the areas when we're looking at planning that we so often forget to tap into and leverage is actually looking at what engagement's going to look like in our business. And yes, this can form part of lots of other bigger plans in your business, but actually having some events and a schedule around how we're going to leverage all that optimism that people have come back to work with and keep life fun, because work's hard and that's okay, but actually we've got to enjoy what we're doing along the way. We've got to recognize successes, so having a way to be able to do that is absolutely critical. But we really just want to leverage off all of that optimism that people have in place. So actually when we're doing our planning, of course we need our business plans and the SWOTs that Kirsten's talked about, but we should also really think about how we're going to keep our people engaged through that 30, 60, 90-day period. We really want to focus on, again, how we're going to leverage off past wins and look at what successes looked like then, and actually when we were celebrating success, what did people really enjoy, and how can we leverage off those things and repeat some of those experiences for people. So let's not forget, when we're building in those plans, that we're actually building on what engagement looks like in our workplace. Of course, that's going to help people feel that sense of purpose. It's going to build into that sense of direction, and we'll be talking more about this to you in one of our coming episodes as well.
So next episode, episode 2 in this series, is the 100% focused on engagement plans. There are going to be some tips and tricks that Sarah and I are going to share with you in the second episode, just so that you can actually leverage. Once you've got direction in place, you can then build on that, because direction and belonging creates an amazing culture. We'll see you next week for episode 2, all around engagement.